our senior year sucked. I don't care. Like, we were hanging out, but now I think about it, y'all are disrespectful. I can want my money back. Like, I want my time back.
If you like drama, we got it. If you like sports, yeah, we got it. You like politics, promise we got it. Report everything hot at this college. PG News, yeah, right off the press. Reporters and filmers, PG got the best. Information that you need is reported. Make sure y'all tune in for what's happening next.
Hey. Welcome back to another episode of PGCC Perspective. I'm your host, Mattia Bryant, bringing you the latest on all things political, platonic, and problematic. Ladies, guess what, y'all? Guess what?
What?
Guys, it's the last day of Women's History Month, bruh.
Already?
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? As we start to near the end of Women's History Month, what better way to close it off than with an episode of A Girl's Guide to Growing Up? Let me tell y'all something. Good friends are super, super hard to come by, y'all. Whether it's learning to master the art of detachment or renegotiating your boundaries, sometimes you just gotta say, babe, it's not me, it's you. Let's talk about it. Today I'm joined with...
Truk.
Hi. Alexis. Hey, guys.
Adana. Hi, everyone.
And Destiny, hey.
So, ladies, let's get started talking about friendship because I think I speak for most of us when I say the road to friendship is not paved with good intentions always. So, please tell me, define your experience with friends.
So my experience with friends has actually always been positive. I think the most, like, quote-unquote drama I've always had is, like, elementary, because, like, we're childish. But once I started, like, meeting new people and, like, expanding my friend groups, I've been, like, experiencing really good friendships. I think I've just been really lucky, and I've met really good people in my lives who have inspired me to do better and has pushed me to do better. But, yeah, good vibes from my side. How about you, Alexis?
Okay, I'm actually the opposite of Truk. Early childhood didn't really have a lot of friends, but I feel like part of it was because of who I was surrounded by, to be honest. And then elementary school got better. It was good. Middle school was rough, not even gonna lie. High school was great, actually. For the most part, I really did have, like, a solid group of friends. Some people fell off, but that's life. And now I feel like I'm kind of in my best place friends-wise. So, yeah.
I can definitely have similar experiences to Destiny. I kind of feel like, yeah, in elementary school, I was...
My love, I am so sorry. We all look the same, I guess.
No. It's because I was thinking. I was thinking of something with Destiny, and I was like thinking about something, and like her name was the first thing that came up in my head. I am so sorry. My experiences are definitely similar to Alexis. In elementary school, it was mostly that my friends were kind of ignorant to some of the things I was going through. And then in middle school, I had a huge friendship breakup that really felt horrible to me. It was like a toxic relationship. And then I feel like in high school, it got semi-better, semi-worse, completely different environment. And now that I have a pretty good, solid friend group, yeah. I can definitely relate to the growing up because I think I got lucky because when I was in like middle school, elementary school, my mom was so involved with school. She was making friends for me, bruh. So I was like, this shit is so easy. Like, I don't have to even try because my mom's doing it for me. I think that was very beneficial in me learning how to step outside of my comfort zone and also learn how to, like, embrace a community of people from different walks of life. But at the same time, I found it to be quite challenging when I was in high school because it's like, technically you're grown, you're on your own. If your mom's still making friends for you, I mean, that's cute. But, like, do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I really struggled with that. I met Alexis through my mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
We met the very first day. It was like ice cream social, bruh.
And before the first day of school.
Yeah, she's like, Alexa, this girl, Alexis. I'm like, I don't care. Like, who is that girl? And I told myself, I'm gonna walk in, and I'm like, not gonna let my mom's decision making be what I was gonna be referring to for the rest of my high school experience. But then I did realize that maybe it was okay for her to start choosing friends for me because the ones I chose that weren't with my mom's approval were hella shitty, and Alexis can attest to that. And I'm in a place now where I can say that. Like, one word to describe my friendship: messy, bruh. So messy.
Your
so
mom
toxic.
has a good vibe check.
My mom has an excellent vibe check, and it's like, I don't know. I think being like experiencing a plethora of like friendship breakups, especially in high school, really taught me like be careful who you put your energy into for real.
No, because can you have your mom like vibe check my friends? Like I
Yes.
feel like a vibe check needs to happen. But
Yeah.
like I won't lie, friendships for me, it was fine like elementary and middle school wise. But like getting to high school, like that's when I lost a lot of people, and then coming out of high school, I also lost a lot of people. And honestly, I mean middle school to high school, like you expect it cuz you're like, oh, like you're actually making that change to like getting closer to adulthood
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And then to a lot of the people that I was with elementary and middle school, like I was with them like with both. So like we never separated until like it came to high school, and then like we pretty much had to leave each other. And I won't lie, guys. You probably already know this, but I'm terrible at keeping in touch with people. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not good at reaching out. So I also lost people through that, and then to like high school, and then with the pandemic, like the pandemic didn't help much either because I don't reach out. I wasn't someone who just texts you. Like I very much plan. This sounds selfish, but I plan things around like me and like being home. So like being like having friends. I'm not one to go out, so I'm not good at keeping them. I'm good at making them.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that goes into like learning how to accommodate your friends' needs. Cause like I'm a low maintenance friend too. Like I don't want to be texting every single day. It's just too much energy for me. And it's like I can't find a better way to say that without it sounding wild. But it's just like I don't know. I place value in different aspects of my life pertaining to my friends, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that goes into what values do you guys look for in a friendship? What values do you look for in yourself to maintain that friendship?
Oh my gosh. So, I just want to go back to something that you said earlier about being a low maintenance friends
Mm-hmm.
and like my values with that. So, my friends and I, when we were in high school, we were figuring out what we were going to do for college because we were like, your vibe is good. We want to, keep this connection in college. How are we going to do that? And we had this whole discussion like with ours, like within ourselves, and we were like, yeah, this we cannot be talking every day. Like, it's just not sustainable for us to be
Mm-hmm.
keeping in contact like that. And we were like, low maintenance friends. We're gonna FaceTime whenever we have time. And yeah, like I value people who have their own thing going on in life. And when we come back together, we inspire each other and we push each other forward.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have our own space to grow while also supporting each other when you need support. So yeah, I like FaceTime my friends every couple of months, but like we don't talk that
Same.
much. But I love them.
We got
Aww.
lucky though, bro. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Aww.
Okay, so for me, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the older I've gotten, the more I've discovered what I want from people when it comes to friendships. Specifically in high school, I had a group of friends, and so okay, I'm just gonna say it, like we weren't the same color. And basically because of that, I started to realize when more like race conversations came up that we had really differing opinions. And it started to get to the point where I was like, whoa, your values really don't align with mine. And I had to kind of put an end, or some friendships just kind of dissolved because I was starting to realize that on topics that I found like really important, we just did not see eye to eye. So when it comes to like values, definitely I guess more important topics, because yeah, we can disagree about like our favorite color, our favorite movie and stuff, but when it comes to certain topics, I'm kind of like, if you don't agree, frankly, I just feel like maybe we aren't the best combative, but isn't or not super compatible when it comes to being friends. Like that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that for me, my experiences have been very different in a way because I did move back to Nigeria. And if you know anything about African countries that have very different ideologies than what we have. So, to go into that space and meet all of these great people and all of these great experiences kind of shaped like who I became because it kind of gave me a new outlook on life. Like, I was able to see like let's say America from like an outsider's point of view. And I love what you said about friends, like important topics. Like people always say, yeah, I could have friends that have completely different topics, but it's like at the end of the day, certain things will come up for you guys that it'll be detrimental to know, hey, which side are you on?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not on my side, like we can't be friends, we can't be compatible. And even what Truk said about being like low maintenance and not having that, I feel like people automatically categorize me into a low maintenance friend. I didn't know the term for it, but I am, because people think, oh, Adana, do you like hate me? And I'll be like, no, like just call me and I'll totally like I don't text people back like that often, and I should, but it's like life just gets too hectic. So yeah, values, I feel like we do have to have similar values. We have to have not exactly similar experiences, but you also have to be very open-minded to knowing that you're wrong. I feel like
Yeah.
in some cases I like people who are open-minded and who can have a conversation without it being like, oh, you're hateful, you're spiteful, you're this, you're slow, you're woke, you're whatever. Like, I just want us to be able to have that conversation because those mature friends are very important in your life, especially as you get older.
Definitely. And I think it also goes back into like authenticity, because in high school it was kind of like everybody was trying to figure out what they wanted to do in their life, who they wanted to be, who they wanted to associate themselves with. That sometimes it got to the point where they just put on like a facade. And that's not what I want in a friendship. I think I've done a pretty good job having honest friends, like surrounding myself around honest people, people who are blunt, because it's like I have tough skin. I like to think I have tough skin. If I'm being bad, please tell me about myself. I don't want a fan. I don't want a fan. If I wanted a fan, I would be famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want friends that are like going to be there for you, support you in everything that you do, but also continue to work towards their goals. This also goes back into like our relationship podcast about how you don't stop growing just because you're in a position now where you feel like you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? We're ever evolving, ever progressing. We got a lot to do, so that's what I really look for in a friend. I think the biggest red flag when looking at a friend is like, I don't even know. There's so many, but I think the one that really stands out to me is just like, I hate friends who don't empathize or like understand that, because we're all going through a lot of shit. I mean, people say it all the time, but like everybody is going through something, right? So if I can't show up for you, don't take it personally. Don't think that I'm not here for you, that I don't love you any less. Wait, I love you any wait, yeah, that's right. I don't love you any less, because I do, but it's just like sometimes I just need a mental break. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I'm sorry, Mattia. That made me think of a really good red flag, and it's definitely people who have like victim mentalities.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
bruh.
It's like you try to point something out, and it's like, no, 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 no. A second thing is if they're in a bad mood, we all got to be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Girl.
I
Don't
can't
go
do
there.
it.
Because I feel like your friends are supposed to be that safe space where you're comfortable enough
Definitely.
to say, hey, I'm going through something and it's shaking me up really bad. So
Yeah. I feel like for me, honestly, like I'm fine like when you need a mental break, but for me, I'm one who's very like into communicating. So like if
Yeah,
you need a break,
definitely.
like if you don't tell me, I'm going to think you're ignoring me. Like that's just the way I think about it. So it's like just let me know like hey, like I'm having a tough time, or like you won't hear from me for a while, but like I'm okay, like I'm not ignoring you or anything. That's just me personally.
Oh no.
And it may be a problem, but
No, it's not. I mean,
No.
it doesn't hurt to ask for communication. And I think that's where it comes like there's both sides to everything. I might be a friend who's like, oh, I'm super depressed. I shut up when I'm like down. But you might be the friend that needs that communication, regardless of how like explicit it is. You need that to be communicated, and that's valid.
yeah, like as long as like in a friend, like as long as we can both be there for each other, whether like it may not be like to equal lengths, but as long as we both feel like fulfilled and satisfied with our friendship, like that should be enough to me. Like I want to be there for you.
but isn't it also good to section your friends? Like it's not every single friend where you can like say, oh yeah, I'm going through this, and list your actual problems.
That's
Like
true,
I
yeah.
have friends who know that I go through stuff, but I have friends who know what that stuff is. Like and say, yeah, I know what Adana's exactly going through. So
I think it's really important to have multiple friends and not just depend on one
Oh,
for your
yeah.
emotional
Mhm.
regulation. Like it's important to self-regulate yourself first before you go on to others and dump all of that. But it's also healthy to like get it out there and have people listen to you, but you can't dump it on one person. So like you said, like some of your friends know a lot about your issues, but some of them really know about your issues.
Yeah.
So like it's really about a vibe check. Like, do you like, am I willing to share this vulnerable part to me? And like, are you willing to listen to me as well? Like some people just don't have it on like enough space on their plate to listen, and I feel like people who vent should also respect that.
yeah.
I think it goes to how well you know them too. Like you can't like you said, like the vibe check. Like you have to know that person well enough to know like what you can go for them to, or like you may have friends who like you're mainly hanging out with them. Like they're the fun friend. Like you can like vaguely tell them things, but you can't fully tell them things because they don't have that capacity to hold you because they may have other people that you don't know about, but you're not that person to them, and you know it too, and you don't take it the wrong way or anything. Like, it's just, I guess it's just like finding the people who are like really close to you, who are like really there for you, like thick and thin.
I was gonna say, like, it's healthy to have fun friends too. Like,
Oh,
you don't
yes,
need everybody to have
yes.
the same connection.
Mm-hmm. I like to think I'm the fun friend. It's just like
You
I know
are.
I'm the fun friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
For sure.
okay, I'm the friend that if you got stuff going on, you even gotta tell me about it, girl. Get in the car. You know what I'm saying?
going
Like, I don't
shopping,
need to
bitch.
know. I just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? But how do you guys decipher when it's like a meaningless quarrel, like when you just get into an argument with your friend, or when like, hold up, this is a toxic pattern that it's gotta end?
Actually, I got something to say about this because I was in it. For me, the big difference was the repeated behavior. He had some friends, or I had a friend specifically who would constantly, I would bring it up. I'd be like, hey, I don't like when you say this, or I don't like when you bring that up. And it was like, okay, but you keep bringing it up. It's been a year, babe. What's going on? Like, I can't do this anymore. So definitely like repeated behaviors where I feel like it's like you're not respecting my boundaries at a point. And that's where I need to take a step back, because clearly this relationship, maybe it's just not working anymore.
I think for me, probably my most notable like toxic friend was probably like in middle school and in high school. I would say that having these types of relationships, you have to be in constant knowing of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, not even your friends, because I noticed like after I got out of middle school and really started thinking about that friendship, I was like, I became toxic myself. Like, I started doing things that I knew was never right, was never of my character. And like my mom, she would always tell me like, Adana, this isn't your character. And I would get mad at her for like siding with this person. But in reality, it wasn't my character. It wasn't who I was. And those people can bring out such a negative part of yourself that once you realize it, you got to cut them off. Because I have friends that bring out this different side of me. Like, my creative friends bring out my creative side. My very intellectual friends bring out, the intellectual inside of me that just wants to come out. They bring out parts of you. And that's when you're like, okay, this isn't like some meaningless quarrel. This isn't like, oh, our PMS is all over the place. This is like, oh, like we're actually beefing and you need to leave.
I definitely, that was well said, man. That was really good.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank
literally
you.
just took the words out of my mouth. I think the most toxic friendship I had was in middle school too, but in high school, energy vampires are real and they're very scary to be around. And the thing was, like, not to speak too much on on that past friendship, I really don't want to give energy to that person anymore because I have for such a very long time. But looking back on it, the more I reminisce, the more I realize I'm a victim. That was a lot of trauma to endure, and I didn't ask for it. So I think it was very difficult for me because when I was around this person, it felt so right in the moment, but our friends around us would be like, something is wrong. Y'all are not healthy for each other. And that was a really hard pill to swallow for a very long time. But I think COVID allowed me the space to think in my own solitude, give myself grace, because I mean, it's nice to have a friend that you can connect to on a more personal level, you know what I'm saying? Like soulmate friends and stuff like that. But at the same time, we're 12. What I need a soulmate friend for? You know what I'm saying? It was so yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever had a toxic friend.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Y'all are lucky.
Oh, wow.
Y'all are lucky.
You know what?
Like, I've definitely had people that we didn't see eye to eye anymore. Like, we just didn't have anything in common, and that just, it fell off gradually, as any friendship would that's being outgrown. But I've never had a toxic friend. I mean, I've seen toxic friendships. I would be friends with them, and I would see their friendship, and I would be like, ooh, what's going on? This isn't healthy. You're getting mad.
So what was that like for you? Being on that side of the perspective of toxic friendships?
Honestly, it's kind of like being in between a wall.
For real?
Yeah, because you're for me, I feel like I'm kind of seen as the mediator friend. So both sides would come to me, and I would hear both sides, and I would see certain aspects from both of them. But for me, I'm not good at confronting people. So it was hard for me to listen to them, but then I will also take into consideration what the other person said. Or like there would just be things that they would say that would just be out of the way, and it's like, whoa, like that doesn't even sound right to begin with. Like there's something wrong here. But I mean, I probably should have came in between it, but it's like that wasn't my friendship to get in between. Like that's for them to realize. And I mean, looking at it, like you don't want to see that, but it's also too like they need to realize it for themselves. Like you can't like kind of like hold them by their hand with their friendship because you're the outsider. Like there may be things that they didn't tell you about that may have occurred. So you're kind of just that outsider looking in, honestly. Like there's not much you can like say. Like you see it, but you don't know like the inner workings of what's actually going on.
Wow. And that also leads into the social dilemma. I know we all, or I know I can speak for myself, the pandemic was very, very rough. Like being by myself. And so I was watching a TED Talk the other day by Shasta Nelson, and she said that our world is fractured by an epidemic of loneliness. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how did the pandemic play a role in yourself, like your individual growth, but also your growth as a person and establishing meaningful connections.
Oh my god, I could just go into this because I love talking about this pandemic time and like how it's completely changed our society as a whole. And it's funny because not a lot of people notice it, like, but what we were pre-pandemic has been lost between everybody. It has been lost between children, babies, teenagers, adults, old people, even. Like it has changed us, and not even just like the deaths, it's like a loss of ourselves internally. And for me, I love the pandemic because if I could tell y'all what I was going through like that March 13th, you wouldn't even like, it was too crazy for me.
Dang, and I remember the exact date?
I remember the exact date. I remember the exact speech my principal gave us saying that, oh, we gotta go, we're leaving. So like I remember everything. Like he said, see you again in 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm not seeing you again. Because it was like a time that I really got to know myself, and it's like this internal growth. Now with friends, everybody was always blowing up, you know, my phone because of group chats, so that was never a problem. I was never like texting them back, but like it was the kind of time to just let the world just stop and chill. It was like that epic pause, and I was able to hone in the people that I really cared about and the friends that I really wanted to keep, and you know what I wanted to be in those friendships. And it just made everybody just relax for a moment and really just think about, okay, what's the most important thing to me? What's the most important values that I hold when it's time for this? Like we never knew what was going to happen during this pandemic. It could have gone on for 2 years. We would never have known. So I feel like it was really a time just for self-reflection.
Oh my gosh. So I definitely agree with you with that. Like what you were talking about, I was like, girl, me too. But like in terms of just like through a more friendship lens, I'm just really excited to talk about this because I just turned in an essay about expectations and like the epidemic of loneliness in America. So like during the pandemic, there was so much like non-expectations. Like we were chilling during the pandemic, and like you said earlier, with a bunch of group chats that you ignored. Girl, me too. I was living life. Like honestly, I was just painting, having a good time. And I think it's really important to have downtime. I was just at a restaurant with a friend, and we were talking about like friendship breaks, not like friendship breakups, just like breaks, right? That pandemic was a huge friendship break, and everybody was allowed to refresh and figure themselves out again as a human being and like come back as better people and just wanting to connect more. So like I think friendship breaks are important, and that's why I'm a low maintenance friend.
But I would also like to add, like, definitely that part on like a break from your friends, because people fail to realize we're humans, and so we generate a lot of energy, and so transferring energy from people like consistently. High school, I went to all girls high school. Oh my gosh, bruh, the amount of energy I consumed was crazy. So like, oh my god, where was I think I was at school when they were like, oh, what happened? I don't remember. But I was so pissed. I said, let's go! Like 2 weeks off. I'm so tired of these people, so tired of all this energy I've been absorbing and consuming and spitting out. I just gotta go. And the pandemic really allowed me a space to like learn how to like be myself authentically, and also cherish the friends that I did actually like, and grow with them as well.
Okay, this is so silly because you guys are like, I grew at this and that. I feel like the pandemic, the longer it went on, just the lonelier it got.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like an extroverted person, and high school was the first time in like years that I had so many friends. So I just felt like, I said it, I felt lonely, and I really wish I could say like I grew from this pandemic. No, like I grew. I don't know, like I had like this moment, like this resurgence.
I mean, I kind of feel you though.
My style got better. I learned how to do eyeliner. Like, but I feel like at the end of the day, all my growth happened after the pandemic.
Yes.
But I think that kind of leads into the pandemic. Kind of forced me. It forced things to shift. It forced the dynamics to change. And then after the pandemic, sort of like going into college, I'm like, whoa. I'm like really different. And that's when the shift happened. It really wasn't like during that, because I feel like in high school I was still trying to like hold on to the dynamics that I used to have. And it's like, baby, that's gone. Like, it's over. Like, these friendships are never going to be the same. In some ways it got better, and in other ways, like, I simply lost people that now I'm like, this is for the best, honestly. But in the moment it was just painful.
No, I can definitely see that.
No, because like I won't lie, I listened to you guys too. I was like, you grew during it? Like, I feel like I'm a late bloomer. Like, I feel like I grew afterwards. Because like Alexis was saying, like, I was actually trying to hold on to like those dynamics, those friendships still, even though I knew that I should have let go of them. But it was like, I didn't want to be lonely. Like, I had a lot of moments of like being lonely, and like it got so like I've never really felt that before, and I really had to talk to my mom. I was like, I feel lonely. She was like, do you really mean like you feel lonely, or are you just alone? So like, I think during the pandemic, I think it definitely taught us the difference of being lonely and just being alone. Like, there's a difference, and I think it was just a mixture of both. And then too, like, I didn't have a lot of people that I was really close with, so like I had like a lot of surface level friendships, but I didn't have anyone to really talk to. Like, there wasn't really many like people that I had like a deep connection with. So like coming into college, like, bro, I was like, wow, like I really changed. Like, looking back, like pre-pandemic, and it's like, wow, like I really did that. I really did that.
That's crazy. Like, and to even think like it's been 3 years already. That's so like mind-boggling. I'm a whole sophomore in college. That's crazy. That is so crazy to think about. Like, oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm having a moment. Oh my gosh. I definitely think like the pandemic forced me to be okay with being alone. I've always been so like codependent on other people, especially friends. Like, I would have my friends walk to go get lunch with me because I was just I was just so like not in touch with myself. So during COVID, I was like I said, let's go. Like 2 weeks off. I'm sitting there watching TV back to back to back to back. But then I'm like, I get an email saying we're going to do it for the rest of the school year. And I'm like, oh, damn. The party's over, man. And then it was just like, I don't know. I didn't get to see my friends for that whole year, from junior year all the way up until senior year. I didn't see my friends until prom, and that's crazy.
No,
but it was like, it got to a point where it's like, we didn't communicate, so I don't know you, and we've grown, and that's okay.
I want to say, girl, we did talk.
We did talk. When I say my friends, I'm not talking about Alexis. I'm not talking about her.
Like, that's closer than friendship. I could definitely feel like that jump. Like, I remember it was like last weekend or something. I went out with a friend and I watched Scream 6. Watch Scream 6 because that's a good movie. It's good. But it was like, he was like, oh yeah, let me see your ID. And I didn't realize it was like an R-rated movie because I'm so used to, PG-13. And I just walked in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 18. Oh my gosh, I can do stuff. Like, I'm an adult. Like, hold on. So it's like, it really took something away from me because I didn't get to enjoy that 16, 17. Yeah. I didn't get to absorb those years because they were just gone. I was trying to catch up.
You know, one thing I want to say on that, I felt like all of a sudden I was like literally like a kid in high school, and then like, okay, grow up. Yeah. Go to college. Yeah. Get your license. Whoa. I didn't have a senior year. Like, I didn't get the time to like be silly with guys and like, have the prom that I imagined having a senior year. I wanted like, me and Mattia went to the same high school. We had uniforms. And in senior year, you get all these free dress down days. And I was like, I was about to eat. You get the special lockers. You get the special like outdoor seating. We didn't get any of that. It's the stuff that I missed that I had been looking forward to since I was like 14, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you're not going to experience it. You have to accept it, and you got to grow up. it was kind of like a slap in the face. To be honest, it was a slap in the face.
Someone needs to make a book about this.
I think like my mental shift and my maturity definitely like progressed during the pandemic because I felt like I had to grow up by myself. I had to experience what it was like to be a teenager by myself, not with friends. First kiss, not with friends. I mean, not that I'm kissing my friends. I mean, like I didn't get to have my first kiss during my time in high school and then run into my friends about it. And I think that also in a way made me very bitter. Because I don't know. I kept cursing the world. I was like, why are you so funky? So nasty. Because I was so bitter that I didn't have the opportunity to like grow with my friends. But in a way, looking now, like in the position I'm at now, turning 20, it's just like, I really didn't need y'all for real. And
You're
this was
sick.
like, I needed you guys to grow, but it's like, sometimes you have to learn that some people are just in your life for a season, right?
Yeah.
This is our TV show, right? We can't all be reoccurring characters, babe. Some people gonna be guest stars, some people gonna be killed off, and that's fine. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can definitely.
Yeah, I think it's different because like me and Truk, like we were able to have our senior year, but like it wasn't the same. Like we had so many things like taken away that we weren't ready for. Like we were really upset. Like I don't think we had homecoming. Like we were lucky enough to have prom, but we didn't have homecoming. We didn't get to like did we do senior prank day? Like it didn't have the same energy.
It didn't have the same energy because like when we were freshmen, right? The seniors were cling wrapping the doors.
Bro, yes.
They put baby shampoo on the stairs. They got in trouble for that.
No, because I saw them setting up too, so I was able to avoid those areas because I would actually get to school early. I thank my bus driver that year. I got to school early, so like I was able to see them set up and everything. But like I was one of the only freshmen in the building at that time, and I kept looking around because they also had on their class color. Was it class color day?
No, because when seniors are doing their thing, they're always in orange.
Oh yeah, that was our class color, and I just kept looking around. I was like, I see a lot of orange. I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. And like freshmen, you're like, like I don't know what I'm walking into. Like, what is this? But like then, like we were excited for ours, and like it didn't get to happen. Like it didn't happen.
No, I definitely see that. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like I was just thinking about like my senior year, and I feel like one of the things that was like really cool is that seniors have this like really major exam that's like a West African exam. So there would always be like this break period between that exam and our graduation and our prom, and I kind of felt like our prom was rushed, our graduation was rushed, and we all were kind of like we were feeling it, but we weren't feeling it. Like we weren't there. We didn't get to have that break where we're chilling, we're hanging out with friends, we're just getting ready for prom, getting our dresses, getting our outfits. It's like it was all a rush to like do our exam. Literally, we had like the last exam that next Wednesday. We had our prom. Wow. We had a prom on a Wednesday.
Ooh.
And we had to finish it by 7.
That's ugly.
I am so
Who decided
serious. Like,
that?
Our principal. And we were like, why are we finishing by 7? We'll get there by 7. Like that was our idea. Like we'll get there by 7. We'll do this. And he was like, wrap it up. They literally like turned off the lights. Like they turned off the music.
That's ill.
And it was a Wednesday because it wasn't just us. It was also like the younger kids because they also get to enjoy prom. Some of them. So it was like 10th graders and 11th graders, and then us. So they have to go to school in the morning. We don't. We had like our graduation got pushed back or whatever. But it was like so many other factors that happened due to COVID. And it was different for us because not everybody, you know, has those like online connections that everybody could catch up. A lot of kids couldn't catch up. So all our stuff had to get pushed back. And it was just really hard. So I definitely get that. Like our senior year sucked. I don't care. Like we were hanging out, but now I think about it, y'all are disrespectful. I want my money. Like I want my time back. So
no, because I won't lie. Coming back in finally, like for senior year, and like seeing people, but then not really recognizing them, like that was crazy. Because it was like I knew you, but now I don't. Like it did like a whole 180. And it was like, it would be people that you used to talk to, you hang out, like you would walk to class together, and then all of a sudden it's like they didn't know you, like they didn't even acknowledge you or anything. And it's like, dang, what happened?
So looking at all of our experiences with friendship and growing up, especially during the pandemic, what has this whole experience taught you guys, and what are you looking forward to doing in the future?
Be your own friend.
You know, they elaborate, Destiny?
Okay, so as I said, the pandemic, it was difficult, but like, mhm, I reverted back into my shell. Like, I'm not a very extroverted person. Like, I'm good in my company, but the pandemic really taught me to be in my company. Like, don't look for no one really. And like plus the pandemic, and then like just going through like the changes like you normally would from like high school to college, like even college, like you're just kind of on your own. Like you meet people, but like it's not really like there. And like just being your own friend, like being comfortable in your space, in your company, in your mind, because like no one's going to be a better friend than yourself. Like you really have yourself. Like you can't always like depend on people, like you said. Like you really have to like rely on yourself sometimes, because sometimes you're not going to have anyone to run to later on.
Oh, okay. I actually want to not expand on that point, but I guess the point is, for me, the pandemic taught me to really appreciate the time that I have with different people. I am so much more like aware and like really trying to take in every experience I have, because I'm like, it might not be like this next semester. It might not be like this next month.
Yeah.
Like the people that are around me right now, the opportunities I've been given, I feel like just in high school, I was just kind of going through it. I was like, okay, well, like I have next year, then I have the year after that. It was like, no, you don't. And then all of a sudden, I was taught that something is not guaranteed. So really make the most of the time you have. And second, definitely that certain people in my life, I really cherish them. Like I really cherish my friends now, because I'm like, there's no guarantee that something's not gonna like push us apart, which is bad to think about, but it could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
And then okay, last point. I have a little sister, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like because it was just like me, her, we just got closer. Like nobody else around my age is near me. So we going on walks together, we playing tennis together, like we sitting here watching shows together, doing discussions. Like who else am I talking to? And I feel like in a way we were able to grow closer, because it's like it's really you, me, or the air. So
oh my gosh, what kind of pause? I definitely do feel like that, because it made me really appreciate my younger brother, because I felt like we were never that close, but that was because of our age difference. But like as the pandemic expected me like to grow older, it also expected him to mature faster too. Like he's a teenager now, and I'm kind of crying because he turned like 13 a while back, and he's getting so much older. And like the conversations we're having, I'm like, when did you like not become like this baby that I was forced to watch some days? Like it really taught me like it's really me and him. Like he was my best friend that my mom birthed for me. So it kind of made me realize, oh, it's me and you against the world, little buddy. I ain't got really nobody else. So
oh my gosh, I really love the fact that Alexis brought up siblings, because I also have a little sister, and yeah, like we got so much more closer during the pandemic, and like now after the pandemic, I guess, we would just randomly go into each other's rooms to be like, hey girl, what you doing?
like,
How you been doing? And we just like would talk for hours, and like we had that time during the pandemic, and that like habit continued, and it was really nice.
I definitely agree. I think the pandemic taught me to cherish people a lot more, like Alexis was saying. Like it was like, I don't know, I low-key, I feel like in high school I had a lot of bitterness, that a lot of times like my friends just felt like an inconvenience. So being in the pandemic, learning how not you, Alexis.
dang, I can't imagine getting insulted like this on the air.
It's not like a live and in stereo, but no, like it wasn't like an inconvenience. I felt like I was doing a disservice to my friendships. I wasn't showing up like I wanted to be. I wasn't there for them. I wanted to be a better friend. I think COVID really helped me do that. Just like Destiny was saying, I like my shell that I like forced myself to come out of high school. It's back. I don't speak. I've been here on campus for 2 years now, and this is my first interaction with people.
You're
you know
welcome.
what I'm saying? Like this semester is my first interaction with people, and so that goes back into like taught me it taught me like I don't know myself as well as I think, but also that's okay. And also just like learning how to value my family, like you guys are saying, my sibling is out the house, so it's just me. But learning to have an adult relationship with my parents now, it's just like those are my besties for real. You know what I'm saying? So as we wrap up, I just want to thank you guys so much for contributing to this conversation. It's our very first girl talk. I want to give a special shout out to the humanities department, specifically Mr. Bobby Strickland.
Mr. Bobby.
Be sure to follow us on our social media at Owl Newspaper on Instagram and YouTube. Be sure to catch the latest February and March issue. Check your emails, Owls, or check our link tree. And we will see you guys next Thursday.
If you like drama, we got it. If you like sports, yeah, we got it. You like politics, promise we got it. Report everything hot at this college. PG News, yeah, right off the press. Reporters and filmers, PG got the best. Information that you need is reported. Make sure y'all tune in for what's happening next.